Hello members. Let me hope you guys are doing fine. Welcome back to okay members, welcome. Hello traders, let me hope you guys are doing fine. Welcome back to Top 256 FX, your number one mentor. Members, let us talk about the difference between thinking in series of trades and thinking in trade by trade basis. So guys, the amateurs think in trade by trade basis while the pros think in series of trades. What does this really mean? If an amateur executes a trade and the trade turns into a loser, the amateur sees himself as a loser, okay? And then if he executes a trade as a winner, he sees himself as a winner. So this is how an amateur thinks. This is a wrong mindset. Guys, as I've always told you, what differentiates a pro and the rest is the way the pros think, okay? It's the difference is between the mindset, that's all, okay? So let's talk about this. Guys, members, listen, if you see yourself as a winner in a winning trade, what you're going to do in the next trade, you're not going to predefine your risk. In the next trade, you're going to jump into the trade before even you see a signal because you think now you know what to do. In the next trade, the market is going to go in your way. You're not going to take money out of the table because you're going to get greedy. You're going to use bigger lot size because you feel like, hey, just because the last trade was a winning trade, even the next one you anticipate for it to be a winning trade just because your last trade was a winning trade. So this is a wrong way of thinking. Again, if your last trade was a losing trade, what you're going to think that, hey, the next trade also might be a losing trade because you see yourself as a loser. So what is going to happen? You're going to see a setup, you're going to refuse to enter the trade because you see yourself as a loser. And then again, when a trade ever goes in your side, you're not going to take money out of the table because you are being greedy, because you lost the last trade, you feel like the market should give you more money, okay? This is the reason why this is how amateurs think. They think in trade by trade basis. I want you guys to understand me very well, okay? And then again, the pros think in series of trades. For example, if a pro executes a winning trade, he doesn't see himself as a winner. If he executes a losing trade, he doesn't see himself as a loser. Reason being, he thinks in series of trades. What does this really mean? This means that pros have understood one thing, that they cannot know what's going to happen next on trade by trade basis, meaning that any trade that they execute, they don't have control over it. All they do is to execute well and learn from their losses. That's all they do, okay? And then the rest of the traders, they do what I've been explaining. So if you think in series of trades, what is going to happen? If you execute a losing trade, you won't care about it because you know you are a trader, losing is inevitable. You can't avoid losing, okay? And then if you execute a winning trade, you know that winning is just a reward that comes from following your rules. That's all, okay? So if you think in trades by trade basis, what's going to happen? You won't receive the up and down ticks. You see the up and down ticks on the chart, you won't see them as a threat, okay? Because you know this is just information that the market is providing to me, okay? And then again, you will be able to eliminate all trading errors, okay? Like for example, you say instead of using bigger lot size just because your last trade was a winning trade, you will still use the same lot size, okay? Instead of entering into a trade because of happiness, because your last trade was a winning trade, you won't do that, okay? So thinking in series of trades will help you in a way that even if you get a whole week out of losses, okay, what is going to happen? You are going to remind yourself that, hey, losing is just part of trading. If I want to become a trader, I have to expect losing streaks, okay? So what's going to happen? You are going to eliminate all trading errors, and then you are going to be trading without fear. Remember, imagine going into a trade and you don't care about what's going to happen next, just because you know anything can always happen, okay? So what is going to happen? We need to understand that if we start thinking in series of trades, what